Weather's chief meteorologist, Chase Jones.
Well, we'd like to welcome Alexis Hernandez to the KSAN family. Zoe, is that the last member? I think we got a full team finally. We're fully staffed up and just in time because football is picking up along with some of that weather and the school year. Now, Zach, cloud convection going strong, seeing some of those pockets of storms off towards the south. Take a good look at these temperatures over the last 24 hours, going from those mid-90s down into those lower 70s, and then a good run at those triple digits. Thank goodness it's not getting hotter than that, leveling out at 100 degrees. So it was a good day to go to school because that sun was just an oven today. 100 in San Angelo. Everybody else in a combination of mid to lower 90s, if not at that triple digit mark, if not above it. Take a good look. 102 in Robert Lee, 94 down there in Junction, 92 over there in Mason. There's our 10 degrees across the entire Concho Valley, except for one cold spot there at 89 degrees in El Dorado. They're usually in those lower elevations. Drier air is on the way, which usually means colder air is on the way. Dew points are in those 50s and those 60s, while humidity indices are all the way down there in those teens, all the way up into those 40s down in those lower elevations. So we're going to see the cloud cover clear out for a beautiful Friday, but it is still trying to keep us in that afternoon thunderstorm pattern. Now take a good look around the Gulf Coast, seeing some concentrations of orange trying to get their act together and push their way in by the weekend, but that's usually Stevens' neck of the woods, so we'll see if the rain wants to show up. Upper level pattern is going to show you the high pressure slowly working its way across the entire southern part of the United States as we get closer towards next week, halfway already through the month and almost closing in on the end of the year. Going to see that high pressure push all the way off towards the west coast where they're setting up for monsoon season. So right after these wildfires, here comes the flooding. Now, water vapor imagery showing you the convection going strong across the entire Rocky Mountains. Zach, that's exactly what we're always on the lookout for. Down towards the Concho Valley, of course, keeping our eye on that dry air as things heat up and clear out. Severe weather outlooks finally in North Dakota and parts of Minnesota, but it's really just sort of been there for the past 6 weeks. Now, down at the surface, still keeping our eye on those red flag alerts along with a little bit of severe weather. So a mixed bag making its way across the Rocky Mountains. Here comes a monster storm off the west coast, but keeping our eye off the east coast as some of that moisture works its way off there. But you see it sort of getting organized because they're trying to call for some tropical activity by the weekend. But Steven's going to keep his eye on it because, you know, I never get an opportunity to cover some of that heavier weather. Now, the radar showing you some pockets of storms making their way out. But of course, the Futurecast doing a better job today, but it's going to make its way out for a beautiful, cool evening. By tomorrow, warming up somewhere near those triple digits. So let's go ahead and head back to school to stay out of the sun. But I'm keeping my eye on those recess conditions. But as we get closer towards the weekend, please make plans because Friday's going to be absolutely beautiful. Then by the weekend, Steven, take a good look. My model is showing a little bit of moisture trying to make its way in from the east, but you know how it likes to overestimate and be more ambitious. So tonight, all the way back down into those lower 70s, but we'll see how quickly we cool off with these clearing clouds. Then tomorrow, a good run at those triple digits, but it's going to be a beautiful Friday either way. As we get closer towards the evening, things are going to level out pretty beautifully. But as we get closer towards next week and closer towards Labor Day, we're going to make one more good run at the heat. Then take a good look. Here comes the rain. Here comes the clouds as we level out in those lower 90s while those overnight lows get awfully close to those upper 60s. Stay tuned. We'll have more up the break. You're watching KSAN News at 5.